These are 7 wealth-building habits that are quietly keeping you broke, and every single one of them is within your control to change. Here's what's fascinating. Dave Ramsey's team at Ramsey Solutions found that 93% of millionaires say they built their wealth through hard work, not high salaries. Tom Corley spent 5 years studying 233 millionaires with an average net worth of $4.3 million, and 76% of them were completely self-made. They didn't inherit it. They didn't win it. They built it. And a massive part of how they built it was by deliberately leaving certain things behind. So let's talk about what those things are. Number 1, high-interest consumer debt. Right now, total U.S. household debt sits at $18.8 trillion, a record high as of early 2026. Americans are carrying an average of nearly $105,000 in total debt per person. Credit card balances alone have exploded, growing 28% in just 4 years, from about $1.03 trillion in 2021 to $1.32 trillion in 2025. And the delinquency rate just hit 4.8%, the highest level since before the 2008 financial crisis. Consumer debt is the silent wealth killer. Buy now, pay later services and credit cards make overspending feel effortless, almost invisible. But wealthy people treat high-interest consumer debt like poison. They understand that every dollar going toward interest payments is a dollar that could be compounding in their favor instead of grinding against them. The spending habits that prevent wealth most among middle-income earners include lifestyle inflation, neglected subscriptions, status-driven purchases, and reactive spending, and all of these funnel directly into debt. Methods like the debt avalanche or debt snowball, made famous by Dave Ramsey, can eliminate this faster than you think. If you want to build wealth, the debt has to go first. Number 2, lifestyle inflation. This one is sneaky because it disguises itself as progress. You get a raise, so you upgrade the car. You get a bonus, so you move to a nicer apartment. Your income climbs, but your financial pressure stays exactly the same. That's lifestyle creep. Former luxuries become perceived necessities, and suddenly you're earning twice what you made 5 years ago, but saving the same amount, which is nothing. Thomas Stanley and William Danko's landmark research in The Millionaire Next Door revealed that most genuinely wealthy people live noticeably below their income. They drive sensible cars, live in comfortable but unremarkable neighborhoods, and their net worth would genuinely surprise you. In fact, 90% of millionaires drive cars that cost less than $75,000. And here's the stat that should stop you cold. 86% of people driving prestigious luxury brands are not millionaires. They just look like they are. The wealthiest person on your street probably isn't the one with the flashiest car. The top vehicle among Americans earning over $200,000 a year? The Ford F-150 pickup truck. Stop keeping up with the Joneses. The Joneses are probably broke. Number 3, instant gratification. Back in the 1970s, psychologist Walter Mischel ran the famous marshmallow experiment at Stanford. He gave young children a simple choice: eat 1 marshmallow now or wait 15 minutes and get 2. The children who waited, who could delay that gratification, went on to earn higher SAT scores, better grades, and healthier lifestyles across the board. That principle doesn't stop applying when you grow up. Wealth almost never happens overnight. It happens through ordinary decisions made consistently over years. The desire for instant gratification leads to unnecessary spending, which leads to debt, which leads to stress, which erodes any chance of financial peace. Meanwhile, Americans earning $50,000 to $100,000 annually are saving less than 5% of their income on average, when the recommended target is 15 to 20%. People who consistently delay small pleasures today build something much larger over time. That's not theory, that's math. Number 4, the comfort zone. Comfort feels like safety, but it's actually stagnation in disguise. When you settle into routines that require no effort or risk, you stop growing. You stay in a job you dislike because it's predictable. You keep your money in a savings account, earning 4% when investing in low-cost index funds could build real wealth over time. You avoid bold financial moves because uncertainty feels dangerous. But here's what the data actually shows. 63% of millionaires took calculated risks while building their wealth. 27% had failed at least once in business. And more than 80% reported actively working toward one major goal at any given time. They weren't reckless. They were intentional. They stepped into discomfort with a plan. In an increasingly competitive world, the people willing to sit with uncertainty will be the ones who capture the biggest rewards. Comfort doesn't protect your wealth, it prevents it. Number 5, toxic relationships. This one rarely shows up in financial advice, but it absolutely should. Toxic relationships drain you financially, emotionally, and mentally. If you're working hard to build something and someone in your life is constantly creating emergencies, requesting bailouts, or chipping away at your confidence, that person is costing you more than you realize. Research shows that prolonged exposure to unhealthy relationships creates chronic stress that directly impairs your ability to make sound financial decisions. You can't think clearly about investments when you're being manipulated. You can't plan for the future when someone keeps pulling you into their chaos. Professor Brian Robinson found that relationships involving workaholics were 40% more likely to experience conflict or separation, and it cuts both ways. People who manipulate, criticize, or financially exploit those around them create environments where wealth simply cannot grow. Wealthy people are deliberate about who they surround themselves with, and you need to be too. If someone in your life is dragging you down financially and emotionally, that relationship is a liability, not an asset. Number 6, excuses and procrastination. The American Psychological Association classifies 20% of people as chronic procrastinators. And when it comes to building wealth, procrastination might be the single most expensive habit you can carry. The greatest wealth destroyer for most people isn't making the wrong investment. It's waiting too long to make the right one. The math on this is brutal. Time is the most powerful factor in compound growth, and every year you delay is a year that money could have been working for you. The worst excuse in personal finance is some version of, "I'll start saving later." The data tells us that people enrolled in automatic savings plans carry 13 to 16% higher balances than those who don't. The barrier isn't knowledge, it's action. Researchers have identified 3 factors that drive procrastination: lack of self-control, lack of domain knowledge, and being overwhelmed by too many options. The solution isn't to know more. It's to start now, even imperfectly. Automate your savings. Make the first investment. The cost of waiting is always higher than the cost of starting. Number 7, a negative mindset. 45% of people believe that people like them don't become wealthy. Nearly half the population has already decided they can't win before they've even started playing. In Tom Corley's research, the single biggest trait shared by self-made millionaires wasn't intelligence or education. It was a positive outlook on life. 88% dedicated at least 30 minutes daily to reading and self-education. Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors in history, spends up to 80% of his day reading. And as he once said, the greatest asset to own is your own abilities. A negative mindset doesn't just make you feel bad, it changes your behavior. You leave money in savings accounts earning less than inflation because you're afraid to invest. You avoid opportunities because you focus on what could go wrong instead of what could go right. The wealthy focus on potential. Everyone else focuses on potential loss. T. Harv Eker puts it simply, stop thinking and speaking about money in a negative way. Your beliefs about money become your financial reality. So here's the bottom line. 77% of Millionaire clients surveyed attended public school. 69% went to public universities. Most of them aren't geniuses. They aren't lucky. They simply chose to leave behind the 7 things we just covered: consumer debt, lifestyle inflation, instant gratification, the comfort zone, toxic relationships, excuses, and a negative mindset. These are the same principles that drive the FIRE movement, financial independence, retire early, where ordinary people are retiring decades ahead of schedule by mastering exactly these habits. Every one of these is a choice, and the choice is yours to make, starting today.